Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Greg Walton, and special guest with me today is Steve Wu, who I consider the father of SD-WAN. Welcome to Dell Technologies World.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Glad to be here.
How are you doing today?
Very good.
You enjoying the conference today?
I am.
I like your button. Ask me about SD-WAN.
Yes.
Well, you know what?
I think you're going to ask me about that.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Well, okay.
All right, so the Dell SD-WAN announcement, right? Dell SD-WAN by VMware. I'd love to get your quick take on what you think that, your quick take on it, and what do you think it's going to mean for the large Dell community out there?
Right, so it's exciting because the DellEMC Edge, SD-WAN Edge, has the same market-leading VMware software, right, as VMware sells, but it's now available to all of DellEMC's commercial and enterprise customers. Right, so same software, market-leading, same hardware, but branded Dell. So available from all Dell channels with Dell support. So we're excited about that wider access to our SD-WAN technology.
I'm personally very excited about it, right? I mean, I look at what VeloCloud was before VMware acquired it. VMware came in with its depth, its scale, its capabilities, and really helped elevate VeloCloud up to that far right-hand corner in the Magic Quadrant, right? But I see Dell even pushing us even higher up in that ability to execute. Did you see it the same way?
Oh, absolutely. It's a natural fit for Dell Technology World because one of the things that SD-WAN does is unlock the software SD-WAN from proprietary legacy hardware. So you don't need dedicated routers. So as you see at Dell Technology World, Dell was announcing new edge, core, cloud platforms. And now you can put the same SD-WAN across all these platforms.
And you marry that up with Dell's ability to execute across the globe, right? I mean, their logistics is second to none in the world. What a brilliant experience, right, for anybody who's already a part of that Dell community. All right, so I got a few questions that came out of some of the EBCs that I was in today. I've been walking around, right, and I see the motto of Dell Technology World is, real transformation. What role does VeloCloud play in that transformation? So
the transformation is talking about the digitization of the businesses, of hybrid cloud, of multi-cloud, and that's exactly where SD-WAN fits into. So one of the nice things about SD-WAN is it actually helps all different businesses really impact their customer-facing experience. And so I can tell you about a lot of different case studies if you will let me go on about that. Oh, trust me, and I want you to. So
early on in VeloCloud, right, I mean, you've got the vision, the code gets to a point where now we can execute on it. What is one of your favorite first wins where you really were able to make such a huge impact for a customer and show them the brilliance of SD-WAN?
Right, so one of my favorite stories is a retail customer. Right, so they were having a grand opening of their one of their flagship stores, and they had the traditional router approach with private links from a provider, which they procured ahead of time. And somewhere along that morning, they discovered the pieces were not coming together. So they were in a panic about an hour before the opening. They called one of the SD-WAN partners and said, "We've got an hour to the grand opening of our store. Can you do something?" And I wouldn't suggest that the IT guys leave it to the last minute, but they were able to roll in an SD-WAN Edge. It did the connect to the cloud, so got the configuration from the cloud. Obviously, they couldn't get the additional WAN circuits in place, but they threw in a couple of LTE modems. And
so they're running this on the cellular network?
So on the cellular network, multiple LTE links, and they got the store up and running. So it took 45 minutes from start to finish.
Wow.
Got it up and running 15 minutes before the store opening. Could not have done that without SD-WAN.
I've been in networking for 20 years, and I've never seen a network where the network engineer didn't know anything about the installation, was able to come in 45 minutes, get it up and running. A lot of Dell customers here are starting down their SD-WAN journey. What's a bit of advice you would get anybody who is just opening up that Pandora's box of goodness?
To look at what the top business problems are from the wider network. I just had a meeting this morning, and perfect use case, this organization had many sites in rural locations, and so they're having trouble getting links out there. They certainly couldn't get multiple redundant links. They couldn't get the visibility. Users were complaining that their applications were running slow. So really a lot of issues. They're also moving their workloads to the cloud. So on top of that, there was the strategic component of adjusting the network architecture. So as we were sitting there, we were just chomping at the bit saying this was a perfect use case for SD-WAN. We can give them the visibility One of the keys that we allow the transport independent app performance, so whatever you can get out to that rural site, right, whether it's if they can't get the private link, they can get a broadband, they can get a LTE, we can get up and running, different provider for every single location. Really just come up with what the use case is, and our SD-WAN experts will architect the right solution for you.
When I was getting started in the SD-WAN space, you know, I would tell people who wanted to try SD-WAN, right? You know, give me your worst case scenario location, and I will make it look better. And it worked every time, right? Doing a POC, don't give me the perfect location, give me the one that's the biggest pain, right?
And that's exactly the experience that we had, right? Customers would say, okay, we'll give you the 5 out of our 100 sites that just don't work today.
Yeah.
And actually, that's what got us going, right? We solved their problems in their worst locations, and that was the proof in the pudding.
There's been a lot of cases where at the surface, right? I'm going to install SD-WAN because I want to be able to take advantage of multiple links and everything you described.
Right.
But there's a follow-up component that I don't think a lot of people see, which is 6 months down the road, that visibility, right? About what's happening on your network and how you're using your links. You have an interesting story about, you know, what that visibility has uncovered for some customers.
Right. A couple of good examples. One is a multinational company, because you actually see what's happening every site over multiple links from different ISPs. Could actually tell that there was an outage at a core POP switching facility even before they were notified by the provider, because they had that one dashboard over their entire enterprise. Another favorite story is one customer was having problems at a single site, and because we also can see all the different applications that are being used, was able to figure out that there was errant either user or machine that was basically jamming the links, and they were able to resolve that quickly as well.
One of my favorite stories is we were installing this SD-WAN solution in an automotive dealership, and they could, for their entire time that they had backups, it made me work 10% of the time. So we installed the service and we asked them the next day, hey, did the backup take place? And they're like, it didn't take place last night. And we're like, well, that's crazy. So we went looking into the statistics, and what we found was they had a 24-hour service shop, and at night 10 service guys would come in and work on the cars, and they would bring their laptops and they would stream Netflix shows all night. So we were able to prioritize and find the backup and prioritize that, and we were able to take Netflix and deprioritize that. They've never failed a backup ever since.
Good story.
Always great stories. All right, well, I think that's all the time that we have for today. You have any parting comments for the Dell technology, team out there at large?
So ask us about SD-WAN. We have the experts here. We can absolutely tell you about it and help you get started on your journey to SD-WAN.
It's been my privilege. Thank you so much, Steve.
Okay.